CS. Obviously, EG putting a lot of emphasis on repositioning the lane as far back as possible so the two supports can act as zoning tools. As Whiteman is going to walk out here and block a camp that he has already blocked, but he's doing it for show. So that EG don't realize the sentry is placed here necessarily, and Fly will place a second one, which will be found later, I would imagine, from
Radiant's
Whiteman.
mid tower could use a hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Some mind games being played, like you talked about.
I guess we have to mention Abed Puck as well, right? This has probably been the standout player-hero combination for the tournament, to be honest.
For the past two tournaments.
At least if you look beyond PSG LGD, right? But they've also had a very short path to that grand final. But of the teams that we've seen play a lot of extra games,
Wait, what?
Abed's Puck has
PSG, you mean through the playoff?
been... In the playoffs, yeah.
Oh,
in the playoffs, they've been... I mean, they did 2-2-1, I think, right? And then 1-2-0, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, Abed has been just god tier. He's been on another level for... And it's funny because in the NADPC, he was really good, obviously, but, you know, we're talking about a different skill level with a lot of the teams. But in both majors specifically, it feels like he's hitting like this peak of mechanical skill that we're accustomed to seeing in these big tournaments. And I don't know if there's any... I don't know what the storyline is exactly, but obviously Abed is originally an SEA player. Playing against an SEA team now, as we see 23 Savage taking some damage, but he'll be more than fine, as these illusions are just going to be more of an annoyance than anything.
Pretty tanky against the Naga illusions in the lane, obviously, with that armor. So the base damage of the illusions is not as significant as against other carries, but he's still getting shut down very nicely here by EG, and it seems like a very clear, targeted plan here from them. Remaining in that tri lane for this long is something that they have not done very much. And even though they're not finding kills, they should have a pretty good read that they're definitely slowing down Terrorblades farm. However, when you're dual laning against a tri-lane and neither team is pulling, Terrorblade should be out-leveling them, and he can just choose to go jungle on level 4. And then it's a matter of, did you accomplish enough, Abed?
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to the illusory armor. And will be the water rune taken by Abed again, and now Carl.
That's a first
That is
blood.
not what happened. You gambled and you lost.
Yes, that is true. First blood goes the way of Whitemon in that bot lane.
They just first blooded in the 2v3 lane. Obviously, Crit wasn't there. He was securing the bottom water. And Fly must have just been caught out. That's a kill I would not have looked for.
Man, Ice dies in the top lane.
This one is more likely. That's a 2v1.
2v1, like, yeah.
And Darkseer Clock, definitely a lane that can pressure Tide. Just Tide usually very good against these heroes that are right-click based because of Kraken Shell. But the amount of damage over time, with Magic especially, it's very strong against
nice blocks here. See if that actually connects. Yeah, Savage. 23 Savage is keeping a lot of right clicks. Of course, they just tried to take it for looks like they might trade. Will finally be the case, but of course, 23 Savage was the first to die. Now Arteezy surrounding Whitemon with those illusions.
He's going to be fine.
Looks like he should be good to go. Meanwhile, first coil of the game, and there we go. Abed just barely had the advantage in terms of XP, and as a result gets the solo kill on Carl, which is something we have yet to talk about. His bottle will be refilled
Radiant's
now.
mid tower's getting banged up.
We're seeing some replays here. That was the first kill on to Fly, and then the kill onto Ice. So wow, that was actually a solo from Zephyr.
When you get isolated as Tide against a hero with Ion Shell, I think honestly Clockwork might be the single best support in the game at killing Tide in these situations. When you have Ion Shell, he can kill him 100 to 0 if he gets isolated out in the open with no creep wave. And there is the start of the first kill. So Fly going out to the side there, probably trying to get some information about the side camps.
Yeah, vacuum into the top. Beautiful impale from Crit onto 2. They're gonna find 1 kill, possibly a second. Cuckoo gets that salve off in the trees, attempting to TP out. Abed.
Dire's mid tower could use a little
really
help.
good at finding people in the trees, but didn't have the orb ready, of course, to use it already, so can't.
Dire's mid
Can't get
tower
that kill.
won't last much longer.
T1 will force rotation though, so Terrorblade should be relatively safe now to play as he wants bottom. It seems to be a jungle path coming up for
Dire's mid tower
23
won't last
Savage.
much longer.
Let's talk about Carl for a moment here. He's had a very good tournament, obviously, as have, I mean, pretty much every member of T1. Thoughts on Doom mid? Because a lot of these games we're seeing the off lane, they get really farmed, but it's kind of a different place. I mean, I guess you're kind of playing the same thing, but it's a Doom mid where, do you like that this game? Is that give them more options, less options, a little bit more flexible?
I think it really depends what item build he goes, how much I like it. Because I think his primary job in this game should be to counter Puck. And with a mid Doom, you get more levels
Radiant's
and
top
on
tower's
average
hurting.
more gold than the offlane Doom. So maybe you could see him transition into some faster items that you wouldn't usually maybe consider, like Shadow Blade against the Puck, so you can get the
Radiant's
Doom out.
top tower's in
You
bad
could just
shape.
go for the standard Hood Dagger, BKB,
Right.
Refresher Sheep build or whatever. We're gonna see what he chooses to go for. He
Radiant's
probably
top
goes like
tower
just
is
standard.
taking hits.
Hood is amazing against the Dire, and he is working on that currently. Almost has it.
Yep, Siege kept alive here. Ice, trying to prevent Kyiv
Radiant's
from
top tower's
pulling
hurting.
this wave any further. A lot of damage being done to this tier 1 tower. Of course, Ice is level 6 with that Ravage available. They'll finally have to concede this Siege, but damage has been done for the most part.
Yeah, they got a lot done.
Fly getting some nice XP mid in the meantime. I mean, it's only 7.5 minutes, and I mean, level 4, not too shabby.
Yeah, Abed did give him that lane space and started rotating top, but it looked like EG just conceded the move. They maybe had bigger plans there to consider diving that tower. They managed to place some really good vision in that top area. EG
The
definitely
Radiant's
looked
courier
like they
didn't
have
make it.
big plans to take over the enemy triangle against this Terrorblade, which makes a lot of sense. But that time around, it was not enough
So
of the
much
siege
for
creep,
the
so probably going
Radiant's
to do it again
courier.
minute 10. All right,
Pulling
Arteezy getting
away. Radiant's mid-tower's coming
8-minute
up.
rune, coil on to 2. And it looks like, again, we're going to get the kill here. In all likelihood, as Carl
Radiant's
gets off
mid-tower
the
keeps
good.
hanging.
Meanwhile, the Doom goes off onto Arthur and sent him to stop as well. Beautiful turnaround from T1.
That was such an
Very nicely played.
Very, very good. Awesome cogs coming out from Zephyr. And then Carl baiting with the Hood and turning around, getting that Doom off on Abed. He was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that. He was super low on HP, but yeah, really blocking a lot of that magic damage, of course. All right, well,
Looks
I mean,
like,
with that gives Carl the lead in the mid.
Yep, he is, of course, also playing with Devour level 4, so will be overtake more than likely every hero in the game. Mid-Doom with Max Devour will usually be top net worth, and then it's a matter of whether the items you buy with it can compensate for the hero's weaknesses.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Point out, we're seeing a
Radiant
double Hood
structures
build on
must have been
T1. Both the
fortified.
Darkseer and the Doom getting it as their first primary item might be a hint
Radiant's
that
bottom
T1
tower
really
is
wants to
pretty
play
sad right
fast
now.
and look to fight. Because obviously Hood doesn't offer much in the way of split pushing and farming. It is predominantly a fighting
Radiant's
item.
bottom towers seen better days.
Maybe that's their read on this whole Naga versus
top
Terrorblade
tower.
match.
Radiance there into the cold feet combo, but Whitemon does get off his Arctic burn and able to get to the low
Trouble
ground, but
brewing
getting
at
chased down with
Radiant's
that guy from
bottom
Ice, the patented taunt coming
Dire's top
through.
towers getting beat down.
Embrace, the loser orb is coming, and they'll finally clean them up. Makes it a little bit longer for Whitemon, creating just a tad more space. I mean, are we going to see anything in terms of itemization from Arteezy that would be out of the ordinary? I mean, Yasha,
The
is
Dire
diffusal
might
even a
want to
thing in
mine
this hero
the
anymore?
top tower.
I think
Radiant's
Scotty
bottom
looks pretty
towers
good in
seen
this
better
game.
days.
You want to be able to run in and be sustainable
Dire's
enough that
top
you can take
tower's
these
getting
fights.
beat down.
Like if you recognize what you're playing against
Radiant's
here, right? It's
bottom
double
tower
ion
in a
shells,
pretty
it's the
sad
vacuum
right
wall.
now.
You're playing into Scorched Earth. Probably need to be pretty tanky. Oh, this is a really bad matchup for Naga, by the way.
Battery
Can't
assault.
cast spells. Fly's gonna walk into a triangle for a mirror image.
Finally, the song
Successfully
comes
do it.
out and Fly out of the range of Battery Assault, and Arteezy just TP's out. The tower was literally one hit away. I'm actually a little bit surprised they go for that.
No.
It didn't have vision in the bottom area, them obviously under that
And
tower.
that might seem like it wasn't that good for
Dire's
Zephyr
top
because he didn't kill
tower.
anyone, but
Radiant disowned their bottom tower.
he forced Song TP out from Naga and got AA low and forced him away too, right? So,
Yeah.
like, considering you were one support accomplishing all of these things and then denying the tower, that was a really high impact play from him.
And Battery Assault good against both Naga and Tide, actually.
Yeah.
So, pretty nice
sure.
matchup overall. It's
Dire's
22.
top towers
AA blasting here with crit from the sideline, but the illusory orb might come first, and that is enough to shatter him. Abed, very nice kill, and he didn't even take any of the Ancients, I don't believe. And now they know that
Dire's
there's
mid tower could use a
stack
little
here.
help.
Yeah. You have to protect this area with a lot of, you need to put focus here as T1. They're trying to find a ward that doesn't exist, by the way, just based on the way that they moved in.
Right.
He had a feeling that there isn't a server, but the server is in the lane. Nothing in
Intuition.
the triangle here. And, yeah. This is going to be the name of the
Dire might
game.
wanna
EG will
mine
want to
the
kill this
top
Terrorblade as
tower.
many times as they can while he's farming the triangle to try to make a sizable gap for the Naga Siren, which is already the case. Arteezy's
Dire's
1,500
top
net worth
tower.
ahead, as a matter of fact.
You know the drill.
The only reason this game looks even on gold is the Devour that is keeping Doom ahead of the Puck. And Darkseer has a 500 lead on the Tide.
Yeah.
The supports are neck and neck. There's almost no difference.
Yeah, so Carl, obviously, we talked about the Hood. We'll be going for BKB next. I mean, right
Very
now they're
interesting build-up.
Were you expecting a blink dagger? Their initiation right now is obviously hook shot. Darkseer doesn't have anything in terms of initiation quite yet.
I think Blink would be really good this game so that he can combine with Clock. Like if Clockwork sees a really good hook shot on the puck, you have no guaranteed way of connecting the Doom unless you have Dagger. Clock himself, if there's no counterplay from a Ravage or a Hex from Lion, you can maybe get a Clock knockback as well for a little bit of extra stun. But for Doom to connect on that actually takes quite a while. And I would like to see a Dagger for that. But he is prioritizing flat out just BKB. They just want to run at them, I think. That's the mentality they're building their items for. Setting up for Terrorblade to have one item, and then maybe you just go with that.
Zephyr looks for the initiation, does connect onto Fly. Looks like the sacrifice for EG, but the Finger of Death ends up getting the trade. Now we have a curse on the Fly himself, as Abed is beating the crap out of him right now, but looks like it's going to turn around before a kill can come out onto Crit. So 2 supports for T1 take a tumble here.
Crit had a lot of Magic 1 charges there, keeping him alive.
And he's already halfway to his blink, so not too shabby of a start for him.
Martinez is very rich, actually.
Well, he did win a lot of tournaments in his lifetime, so yeah, makes sense.
He is he's 2K ahead of the Terrorblade. All of that tournament experience.
I guess so. Whoa, look at this. 3 belts of, what is that called? The Elven Skin?
Band of Elven Skin.
Yeah.
Do
you ever build treads with that, by the way?
This is Yasha plus Dragonlance, right?
Yeah.
But he's not queuing up the Dragonlance currently.
It's the full S and Y, it looks like, as well. For now. We'll see what he ends up doing. But Carl still, he was top of the net worth, but being eclipsed now, as we're going to see, he's actually going to pop that ult from Abed. Will this actually absolutely with the AO coming out, but here's the counter initiation. Again, counter initiation from Ice with the Ravage. End up taking out the A in turn, but this is a great trade for EG if they continue on. Crit. All right, we're going to get a song now from Arteezy, repositioning. Looking to get this kill. Nice anchor smash. Spike as well. Double kill for Arteezy. Now 23 Savage on the run. Cuckoo.
That's 4 to
trying to mitigate a little bit of that damage for his friend, but he's going to drop as well. 4 for 1. The very least for T1. 23 Savage does survive.
And that was
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Wait. No, EG did use absolutely everything, actually. I think maybe they didn't finger. That would be it. Yeah, they used every other ult.
Carl being spotted out. Waning Rift into the illusion.
Top towers getting damage.
My goodness,
Towers getting banged
EG
up.
off to a very good
Have
start,
fun
and this
trying
looks
to
like a
bust
tier
down
1 tower
Radiant
now in their
structures
name.
now.
If you roll back and think
Radiant's
about the draft,
mid tower's coming
I think
apart.
it caught T1 off guard that EG were willing to open with AA Lion in that first phase.
Radiant's mid tower's
really,
getting
that
the
AA
what
pick is
for.
paying massive dividends in killing off the Doom, in negating AA's Cold Embrace. We're seeing a replay of the fight here. So good counter initiation here from Zephyr, but there's just too much in the tank for EG. And with Arteezy coming in with that song, that's what really sets up this fight. Because at this point, it looked like it was maybe going to be a 2-for-1.
Right.
But Song of the Siren very well placed. And T1, they make the call here to try to fight, which I think is just overall a bad
The
decision.
Dire might want to find
very
that top
passionate
tower.
They could have got both Darkseer and Terrorblade out of there by running
Them Dire
northwest,
buildings
but
are tough as
Darkseer
nails
was
for
thinking
now.
about fighting and ended up collateral damage. So EG in a great spot here, 2k gold up against a mid-Doom. So in normal circumstances, this is probably a 3 to 4k.
And they're looking shot from Zephyr, looks like
It's
Fly,
dying.
dead again, gets off the Ice Blast, but not much else will occur here. There's a very low cooldown on that ult. Ice. It looks like we had the hood on Cuckoo. Can we click on Ice? I want to see what the counter... Yeah, so he has basically the same items, but we'll be going for the Blink Dagger.
But
So
Dagger is great.
not too far. I mean, they're going to have double Blink not too far away from both him and
Dire
Crit.
disown their
Yeah,
mid
that's going to set up a
tower.
lot for this potential team fight of EG.
It gives EG a lot of potential ways of executing fights, right? Like you look at the T1 lineup, and I think the initiation is a lot more dependent on one specific spell, and that hookup,
Alright.
that's a lot of damage from our
Taking the brunt of the damage right now. He gets off his Ice Blast again. Not gonna be enough to get a kill.
6 in a row.
Not yet. With the coil coming out, that's a 1-for-1, but you lose Ice. And T1 definitely takes this trade any day of the week.
They do for sure. 1-for-1, core for support, and have it used.
Dire's mid
Not bad.
tower
And
could use a
coil,
little
which is a
help.
little bit more of a, you know, it's a lower cooldown. It's not as important to force out as the Ravage, but it does mean they have a small moment of opportunity here, or at least that they have a breather for their Terrorblade to keep farming. Obviously
Dire's
still
top tower's getting
Arteezy with a
beat
big
down.
lead over him, but the top tier 1 tower under
Dire's
attack
top
will be
tower's
claimed by
gone.
23 Savage.
Yeah, now he's starting to get some of these items that make him a tanky boy. We saw Doom now has the BKB, so
I wonder if this Sanjin Yasha is worth it here.
he's just emphasizing to his team that they need Blink badly right now.
good
But
hook
Zephyr
shot.
has been getting some good hooks, and you see this again. A-Blast will come in, but I don't think EG want to follow this up with anything. I mean, Zephyr is their only initiation right now, and he's been doing a good job. Can't
Dire's
really
top
fault him
tower's
at all.
getting beat down.
I don't think he's missed a hook shot yet.
And
But
they
we've
did-
only seen one Doom from Carl, I think, this entire game, right?
Yeah, it was a high impact one onto the puck, of course, but
Dire's top tower.
largely has been
you know
on the
drill.
receiving end of just being blown up by Ice Blast combos with Coil or with Lion. Definitely seeing from T1 here what the logic was behind the Clockwork pick, finding a lot of good openings on Lion and AA. And is this 3 hoods on the Radiant? It's 3 hoods, right? Doom, Darkseer, and Clock all rocking the Hood of Defiance. The one on Cuckoo even upgraded into a pipe, so that means all 3 of them have like an extra one.
Yeah,
kind of.
it's very
Well,
tanky.
except Darkseer himself. There's a lot of magic block coming out.
The
And I
Dire
do
might
think for
want to
T1,
mine their top tower.
you're probably waiting on Terrorblade's next item, and then I think you want to try to
Trouble
find a
brewing
fighter
at
just
Radiant's
overpower.
bottom tower.
Like, see if you have enough blocking to fight them head on. It is a serious amount of mitigation coming out here. If you pipe both of your other hood carriers, they go in, the amount of damage block that they have against all of these lineups is pretty massive. That's going to get found here.
There's the double blink in. Tail on to 2 A-Blast to fall. The Wyvern's already dead to start things out, though. Again, though, it will be a trip. This crit is quite squishy indeed. Weren't expecting maybe that many members of T1 there, so there'll just be a trade of support. But Wall was expended here. That's a relatively long cooldown.
It's going Kaya Song.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's the first.
Where the dagger at?
Oh,
There
he's
it
changed. Thanks for listening, Carl. Yeah, very close to finishing that bad boy, and I mean, we'll see where the team fight comes from there.
Do you think we could get an anti-caster meta where all players
Radiant's
just start
bottom
putting
tower
items that
ain't
they
a pretty
really don't
sight
want
right
into
now.
quick buy?
I mean, that's what happens at
Dire's
the end of
top
games when
tower,
players destroy
you
their
know the
items to
drill.
screw over the statisticians, right?
That's true.
Or just
go
buy a bunch of
triple
Desos.
Yeah.
Exactly, and yeah, looks like Abed will be going Lincoln into
Radiant's
Deso,
bottom
which
tower
is
seen
kind
better
of
days.
explanatory. Yeah, but yeah, and you're right. They have a ton of burst damage, but most of it is magical. So these 2 hoods and pipe. I mean, I guess in the next team fight we'll really
Radiant's
see
bottom
the
tower seen
power
better
of it.
And the
days.
scary physical component of Naga is it still takes a while. Like, Naga is a hero that needs a lot of items before it really starts kicking in, and that's why it's not a very popular hero at the moment, because the games on... Like, usually the game progression is too fast for Naga to be able to farm up enough. But if you do get...
Into the finger of death. He is the one hero that doesn't have a pipe or a hood, so
Very visible.
that does make sense. This will save Cuckoo as Garth on his BKB. The Doom finally comes out. Ice's Ravage as well. Doom was applied
Radiant's top
to Mr.
tower is
Abed.
taking
On the
hits.
drop.
Nye.
Yeah, you're right. Denied from Arteezy. Beautifully done. That was through a BKB. Carl beating onto him as well as Arteezy getting a little bit low, but he has a huge snare. Diffuse the blade to fall, and this is actually getting so much damage, but the cold embrace is going to save him now. Nice hook shot from Zephyr, and then netting that kill on Arteezy, so it's a 2-for-1. After an amazing start for EG, they've lost their position 1 and 2. Now Carl getting surged up, has the Iron Shell applied, very little mana to work with. Mikey will fall.
Somebody's on
for this.
the
And
road.
it's going to clean up
Three
basically
dash
everybody for EG.
structures.
Ice, the lone remaining member of EG. This is after losing their Terror Blade at the beginning of the fight.
They did a really good job. The vacuum into Curse and then dooming the puck. I thought it was going to end up not being that good because of the deny from Arteezy, but the hookshot follow on from Zephyr being able to isolate Naga after the fight just made it very, very clean for them. And now that 23 Savage is back, yeah, I mean, he died, but that also means he has all of his stuff right now. Abed will defend.
I don't know if they can get this. I mean, the death timers were pretty low. I mean, it's only 21 minutes in the game.
All right, let me give you a
So you're going to give me a question.
yes, let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay. You can give it to me, too,
Yeah,
if
you
you want.
can have it as well.
We'll
This
see
is a
the
replay,
here.
Shannon, don't cast it. So,
Thank you.
imagine in real life that a hero from Dota runs at you with Surge.
Okay.
Which one is scariest? Doom has to be top 3.
Man, you're putting me really on the spot here. I mean, Pudge is disgusting in a different way.
It was actually
right? Carl,
Doom
gonna get initiated on now. Again, the AA blast did so much burst damage, even with his tanky, he can't get this BKB at all.
Monster
Stop
kill on
jungling,
Abed because
let's
he got
push.
denied.
That's true.
So his killing streak is still going.
That is true.
Which can be both a good and a bad thing,
Dire
depending
might
on who
wanna
would have got the
mine
kill
the top
bounty.
I mean,
tower.
Doom is literally Satan, right? So it does make sense that you would be scared.
To be as a Satan fish.
That's true.
Dire's
I'll
top
have to think
tower's
about it. I'll have to
getting
ponder
beat
that for a
down.
little bit here.
You've got time. We're gonna kill Roach here. EG with that pick off.
Radiant's mid
on
tower's
Doom.
coming
They'll
up
be
on
Yeah, Vision. Oh,
getting this ended.
Guess
into
what's
the
happening
Hex,
at
and
the
we've seen
Dire's
this combo
bottom
before.
tower.
You lose your orb back into the min-maxing for Abed. That is min-maxing at its best. He's actually going to TP out, so
Radiant's mid
RTZ will
tower
take
could use
this.
a hand.
No headshot available, so it won't be any, not even in the vicinity actually, just for Vision there. But RTZ,
No,
Aegis
if
for
he
5.
should take this Aegis actually.
Because of the killing spree?
Not really so much that, but just like if you think about the way T1 takes fights and how N-type centric it is, maybe for EG you could take more map control by doing Davis on the puck. Okay, they're just gonna flat out run in and do Ice,
Yeah.
and he's dead.
Infernal Blade is there. He's just trying to run back into them so that, well, just for fun.
Paul gets that kill. All right, Cuckoo. Surprisingly on Darkseer, choosing to buy up the Mithril Hammer and not have buyback without having the BKB recipe. Pretty unlikely to be relevant that you have this hammer
Trouble
on
brewing at
Darkseer.
Radiant's
Could
bottom
become
tower.
very relevant that you don't have buyback depending on what EG have planned for the next few minutes. So I'll have to say disagree with that choice. I don't know if there was any benefit in terms of unreliable gold there, like if he almost only had unreliable or whatever, but yeah, I think maybe holding on to gold
Remains to
would
be
have
seen.
been better. Oh, the hookshot misses.
Oh boy, that's the first one missed for Zephyr here.
They're so tanky. Look at his items.
And it's off.
Put Vanguard over.
Vanguard, wow. Yeah.
Very good item against Naga, of course. Buys him time in the fights when he keeps getting hit by the
The
illusions.
Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Cuckoo.
He's gonna get into the
Radiant's
X.
bottom tower.
Has to follow and Finger of Death, not enough
Dire's
damage. He
top
pops the
tower's getting
BKB.
beat
And
down.
Carl will survive as a result, but they can't really do anything with that. And again, Ice Blast, I mean, Finger of Death is a decent long cooldown, but they haven't really expended that much for EG, but still have 3
Dire's
minutes
top
left on this
tower.
Aegis.
You know the drill.
And I think they actually just take that trade for the BKB charge, honestly.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you don't use anything
The
really
Dire might
crucial.
wanna
They didn't
mine their
Ravage,
top
they didn't
tower.
Song. Their
Radiant's
spells will
top
be up again
tower's
pretty
in
soon.
bad shape.
Zephyr is gonna run right into Ice, gets off the hookshot, wants to go back aggro.
Radiant's
Spike
mid
does
tower's getting
EG.
banged
They're
up.
wondering if there's anybody else nearby, and not really. It's the rest of T1 just leaving Zephyr to die, at least for now. But actually, they're going to catch out Cuckoo in the meantime with that Ravage in the wall. Whitemon gets Gush on the high ground, and Abed, they're just picking these guys off all over the place right now. I don't think T1 were on the same page there in that aggro play from the clock.
They might have been, but just been counterplayed, right? Like, I don't necessarily think conceptually that that's a bad hook shot, but they got cut off. They couldn't follow through because of the wall that EG basically placed down there with both Tide and Puck just zoning them off from connecting. A very heads-up play from them to very quickly prevent T1 from following through there. And this should, I mean, I feel like this game is in
Radiant's
this
mid
interesting
tower
state
could use
right
a
now
hand.
where, you know, EG are sitting on a 1k gold lead. You could be like, that doesn't matter. One team has Doom, so obviously there's that Devour factor as always, but this feels like anyone's game all the time. Even with a 5 to 10k lead for either team, I really think just initiation matters so much. This Ice Box is gonna clip.
Yep, it will. Abed with that Deso being shown. Now Carl with the BKB. And it
Radiant's
is
top
fine as well.
tower's
That's yet
hurt.
another BKB charge.
Yeah.
There he
Puck not
goes.
sitting on the axe coil yet.
No breaking down the radiant structures
Doesn't matter
like
if I can
this.
have coil
Do you
ready.
think he's going to be going for the Ags?
I
Last
don't know,
time we-
actually, that's a good point.
Last
He might
time
not
he
even
didn't.
get it.
Yeah, last time it was like, what, a 50-minute game? He ended up getting it from Roche. He didn't even try
Right.
buying it at any point.
I wonder if teams this late into the tournament are genuinely planning around third Roche as part of their itemization when they're 20 minutes in. They're like,
breath.
our experience with the games and how they're going, and it's Naga versus Terrorblade, maybe you don't want to buy an axe because you feel like you can get it for free later.
Yeah,
it is a big investment.
It is an old school matchup that we haven't really seen too much of, that's for sure. It's Butterfly now on RTZ.
I reckon he's going to go Scotty or Heart next.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged
Heart
up.
being a very good item against Doom, but I do think that Scotty has a lot of value overall against multiple
Radiant's
of T1's heroes. Just the ability to get that first swing off. You do have the diffusal, of course,
Radiant's
but the
toughened up their
are
structures.
on the way. Oh, they're going to do it again.
Initiating so nicely. Always on the same page this game.
Their wards are so far.
Yeah, we saw Fly go in there not too long
Dire's
ago.
top
It's a
tower's
nice
getting beat
blink
down.
there.
No
Not get
breaking
latched to
through the
ensnare,
dire
but
structures for now.
yeah, we can see these aggro
Dire's
wards
top
that are just giving
tower,
so much
you
vision
know
for
the
EG
drill.
right now. But of course, going high ground is gonna be really difficult. I mean, you have a Winter's Curse, and you talked about. I mean, even with the discrepancy in gold that we're talking about, like Doom is a little bit deceiving in terms of the gold lead. You can still delete a hero in the right situation with that ability. So T1 definitely not even remotely out of this right now.
And there's a lot of good stuff from T1 on deep how the heroes work. You have Vacuum into Cogs.
We're gonna have a defense here, knowing that this Aegis is about to be expended.
Oh,
he jumped
Abed
it.
jumps in, he's not scared. Right, Carl showing off at BKB and Shivas. The song. Question is, can they deny Abed
before my
again?
time.
That is a negatory. 9 kill streak given to Carl himself.
I can't believe he jaunted that. He saw that it was a Doom, jaunted in against the Doom with BKB Shiva, and he just pops his items and dooms him. And it's like, yeah, you can Song of the Siren, but
Radiant's
Doom has a
mid tower's
6-second
getting
BKB,
banged
which is
up.
going to remain that for the rest of the game. That's plenty of time to get Abed in kill range. And that's a huge kill. That was like a 1k gold bounty, I think he got out of that.
Yeah,
so
that was quite large.
really big kill.
I mean, you can see the net worth discrepancies now in terms of the heroes. We have 23 Savage getting back into second place now, which is kind of where he wants to be. I mean, would you expect, like in a regular game, like forget about Doom for a second, Naga, Terrorblade, farming, Naga should be farming faster at this stage, right? Usually just a little bit.
I don't know. I think it's
I think
pretty
it's not
even.
crazy.
Like if you look at the big picture in this game, Arteezy was I think 2,500 gold ahead 10 minutes ago, and now he's only 1,500 ahead. So I don't know if that's a symptom of other heroes taking specific farm on the map, or if he has been just outplayed by 23 Savage in terms of overall efficiency. My gut says that Terrorblade does farm faster in general, actually, but I'm not much of an illusion hero player, so I feel like...
But look at it this way. At this stage of the game, who are you favoring right now? Because I've seen a lot of these
Radiant's
games
mid tower could use a hand.
with EG playing the Naga. It doesn't really end well in a portion of them. Like this hero, I'm not a big believer. I feel like T1, if
Radiant's
I had to give the
mid-tower's
advantage right now,
coming
despite
apart.
being down in buildings, I'd still give him a good shot here.
All right,
Blast to fall into the finger of death. Okay,
Radiant's
Caster curses
mid-tower's
real
getting
Carl.
banged up.
Drops dead next to his tier 3
Dire's
tower.
bottom
Now the song to
tower's
try to
getting
save Ice, Ice,
business.
Ice. Looks like it'll be a successful one. They're gonna get this tier 2 tower.
Radiant's mid tower ain't doing so
and EG will
good.
get out just fine.
I do see where you're coming from. Like in general, it does feel like
do something
Terrorblade is
about
a
that
stronger
bottom
hero than
tower.
Naga for the most part. So if you keep in mind that most of the rest of the game is relatively even, I do see it.
Dire's top
That's
tower,
honestly the primary
you know the
reason, though,
drill.
that I would like the Radiant lineup more. It's just that I'm more biased towards Terrorblade than Naga as a game-winning hero.
Yeah.
Just based on experience and watching other games. But with the right hands and with the right coordination, Naga can win this game for sure. Always going to be that wild card of Doom. That's the other thing. Like, let's say we go late game. So EG had some great solutions yesterday against the Doom of Vici Gaming, where they went like triple Lincolns. But the difference in that game was that they were controlling the whole map for like 20 minutes. They just mega out-farmed. And it doesn't seem like they can get the same iron grip on the map in this game, because you're playing against constant ion shells, constant split push from Terrorblade illusions, rocket, flare, Wyvern just going to a lane and dropping a splinter. There's plenty of ways for T1 to actually re-access the map. And man, I just gotta again highlight EG's warding. Look how beautiful vision they have in this top area of the map. Just some really, really good wards constantly placed out here, which has enabled them to find these like 10 blink hex pickoffs that have put them in the position that they're in.
And Roche is now up, so second Roche of the game. We did see a smoke from T1 in EG's jungle. They're not going to be able to find anything. Shard now online for Fly, by the way. He was highlighting that for a good portion of the game. This gives the Ice Vortex some damage over time so that you can push waves.
Yep. Reduces attack speed by 20. Somewhat irrelevant, I would say. It's okay against the wall, I guess, primarily. Both the Doom and the Terrorblade will...
Radiant's
against
bottom
Terrorblade,
tower
everything
seen better
matters, right?
days.
Yeah,
You
it all
should
adds
always
up.
be able to place them on the artillery in the back.
Okay,
All right, this
another
is a
smoke.
key moment.
Yep, Carl with the Ion Shell applied right now.
A successful smoke here will give them Roshan. There's a positive scan from the Dire, which is now
Carl
neutral.
jumps in, but there's the song to counteract this immediately. Crit getting really low.
Dire might want
Deflection,
to
but there's
hide
the
top tower.
nicely done from Zephyr. Can he finish it off? Into the A blast coming in just for the clockwork load this time. So they expended quite a bit just to
Dire's
take out that
top
support.
tower.
Now the Doom applied to
the drill.
Ice. Was not ravaged yet. It's a 1-for-1 to start things out. Coil onto 3. Looks like EG wants to disengage completely. Buyback onto Fly from base. Arteezy getting pretty low, but there's all the damage with the Lion ult onto 23 Savage. Can he turn this around on Arteezy? He's trying to run away. Of course, Song is down, but the right click from Abed doing so much damage. The Thunder don't even use. Double kill from Abed. Arteezy will actually live, and they get 3 kills off the buyback of Fly somehow.
Imagine
Another no position 1, 2, or 3 died from EG.
they got a Ravage off, but they still have Ravage. Lion hit an insane
Yeah, that
Earth
was-
Spike from the high
yeah,
ground.
that was-
3-man Earth Spike from Crit. He managed to
I mean,
escape.
Crit's really into
Radiant's
the game.
bottom
some
tower
say.
ain't pretty sight
He
right
escaped
now.
with like 20% health and ends up playing Ice's hero while he's doomed. You're going to see it in a second here. So the kill Fly.
Radiant's bottom tower
here.
seen
Crit
better days.
lining up next to the Centaurs. Apparently the big Centaur got vacuumed into trouble. That's a
That's always
sad way
scary.
to die.
Oh,
That
yeah.
stun.
That
That
was
is
nice.
the fight-winning stun. Without
Trouble
this one,
brewing at
Arteezy
Radiant's
dies
bottom
here.
tower.
100%.
Beautifully done by Crit.
Yeah.
Finding that angle and having the patience too.
And the
It's-
reflection,
Radiant's
the
bottom
Manta
tower has been
dispelling it. That's
disowned.
Yeah, and honestly,
here.
it's kind of a game of chance whenever these butterfly illusions are there, right? Like, are you gonna dodge your own attacks or not?
That's true.
No.
All right, EG find yet another kill on the backside here. T1 still on the tower. Yeah, Ice Blast is up again. So that's going to be an easy one. And like we said, Roche is up. I thought they were going for it, but they ended up looking for some kills here instead. Yeah, they've basically
Should
taken it down
be
to
able
half
to go
HP with the war
Stop
giving.
It's going to be
Let's
very
push.
telling for
Stop
T1's
jumping.
approach to the game now, whether they buy back or not for this Roche. Because they could buy back now and rush up there with smoke and get there in time.
Radiant's top
It's a
tower
very
is
high
taking
commitment
hits.
play. It looks like their judgment is Roche is not going to win EG the game straight up. We think we can defend against Aegis Chiefs.
Roche is tough, but the Dire's
The
tougher
Shard,
still.
which is going to
Naga
Naga.
Siren. So 20% increase the base armor reduction by 4 for Riptide. Okay.
How much minus armor?
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
That
And
is
he has an Orb of Destruction
twice
as
as
well.
much as 4.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd be learning math today from Professor Cinderman.
My goal is to teach you something every cast, and it's very
Radiant's
easy. I just
top
need to say
tower's in
something.
bad
4
shape.
times 2 is you teaching me something. Okay, well that shows a lot what
It
you
was
think of my
2 times
intelligence.
4, though. But
Incoming.
Radiant's
very
top
different
tower
indeed.
is taking hits.
That's 6K net worth lead now for
Dire's
EG. They're
bottom
going to get this
tower's
tier 2
giving
for
the business
free.
one last top
so that
tower
is
for the
all the
Radiant.
outer towers now in their favor. Of course, I don't know. I'm not
The
counting out
Dire
T1
best
yet.
do something
That
about
was a
that
big
bottom
moment,
tower.
It was.
Radiant's
I mean,
top tower is
The
in
game was
bad
even
shape.
net worth-wise. Now it's obviously
Dire
ballooned in
structure's
EG's
looking
favor.
fortified.
that talent,
Guess
by the
what's
way, level
happening
20
to
talent,
Dire's
Terrorblade. I
bottom
didn't realize he
tower?
has that. That's
Radiant's
crazy.
mid tower's coming
Which one?
apart.
8-second conjure image
Dire
duration.
just couldn't
Yeah,
save
that's
that bottom
not too bad.
tower.
Insane talent,
The
actually.
Dire best
On
do
that
something
hero.
about that
Yeah,
bottom
Arteezy is doing a
tower.
lot
Radiant's
of
mid
damage.
tower
Of
could
course,
use
like
a
I said,
hand.
Orb of Destruction is there, so minus armor on the tower.
Nice split push.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Has to
Guess what's
turn around now.
happening to Dire's
Ice Blast
bottom
is there.
tower?
And they actually finish off quickly. They're going to use
Radiant's
the Winter's
mid
Curse for now. The
tower's
BKB's
coming
already popped. Looking for the Doom. Potentially, remember, Aegis still on Arteezy. He pops the song now, but with the coil, maybe a
Dire's
little bit of
bottom tower's
miscommunication here
getting
as
the
EG
business.
looks to disengage.
Players here.
So there's fine. Force wall. You forced Sunder. Curse. A lot of things happening there. Wait, did it just say armor lowered by 12? So is it 12 or 8? So
Dire's
is the 8 the
bottom
regular
tower's
Riptide
getting
and
the
now
business.
plus 4?
Maybe.
I would trust the tooltip if it wasn't because it wasn't for the reason that the tooltips are wrong
Guess
40%
what's
of
happening
the
to
time.
Dire's bottom
40%. Oh,
tower?
that's
Very specific, I know.
it is very specific. Learning something again today. Thanks for
I actually don't know if it's -8 or -12. I don't play Naga and I never play against
Nobody plays Naga, that's the problem.
I do think base Riptide.
Oh, they're gonna
Radiant's
fight.
top
Cuckoo
tower
looks
is
like,
hurting.
yep. So much squish here when that Ice Blast is applied. Does have buyback though.
Radiant
It's a
got
tier
one
4,
less
or the tier 3. Now
RTZ
RTZ
is so
focusing
strong.
on the range creep.
Pack a Thistle Blade.
Looks
Radiant's
like the Ranger
down and
Axe will fall.
fortified their
Pack the
structures.
Thistle Blade.
I mean, you have stronger items, so
Radiant's top rags
Yeah, I
ain't
was
gonna last
thinking
long.
maybe
Radiant's
backpack the
top
treads, but he's
rags is
valuing the
gone
move
now.
speed here. Makes sense.
yeah.
And this should be at least one lane.
Radiant's mid tower.
They're gonna jump in with Carl. He gets that Doom
Radiant's
off.
mid tower.
Again, Aegis is still on RTZ. He cares about dying right now. There's the big
Radiant's
ultimate
mid
from
rags
Ice
taking
There's the coil out of 3. Oven taking Wyvern out of the fight immediately. Still has his ult. Will fly back into the game though. And now the Doom again applied to RTZ. Looks like they'll finally take him out. Successful without the Aegis this time. Let's see if they can turn things around. There's the beautiful ult from Crit taking out Doom again. And with that, we'll see if Abed can clean anybody else up. Cuckoo, this would be a dieback if he continues to go in here. But there's the Winter Skirts finally. Cuckoo, anchor smash, and the right click from Ice is enough to take him out. And there, Ice with the refresher. Looks like they'll find Zephyr in all likelihood with the right clicks of Abed. Definitely. And with this death, so you can
There
continue to take
goes
these
the
racks.
Radiant's mid rag.
Absolutely.
And that was a kind of a Hail Mary play from T1, to be honest. They used the refresher on their Doom to kill
Radiant's
Naga
mid
twice.
rags is
Yeah,
taking
once
a
with the
licking.
Aegis, once with
Yeah,
Radiant's
both Dooms
mid-rags
expended for that, and
didn't make
obviously
it.
that means the rest of EG's crew just get free fights, Puck, using
Trouble
seemingly
brewing at
100
Radiant's
spell
bottom
volleys. They have
tower.
their own refresher on Ice there, looking to be mega creeps. This doesn't necessarily end the game with the lineup that the
Radiant's
Radiant
bottom
has,
rags is
but
getting hammered.
It's close.
it's very close. And it is 100% going to be megas here. This is one of the beautiful things about
Get
Puck
low to
made with this
Radiant's
build
bottom
is that
rags.
you can actually take barracks when your carry is dead with this mid hero.
Back door. Crit needs to hit it.
Radiant's
There you go.
bottom rags
Double hit from Puck
didn't
with the
make
phase
it.
shift.
No, it was great.
Radiant's bottom rags.
They needed lines off the
Radiant's
top.
top rags.
Mega creeps
Got
are
this
for
got a
EG. Of
case
course,
of
this is
the
only game
mega
one of the best of
creeps.
3. But EG are definitely primed to win
What
the
a
first
great
one.
E fight from EG again.
Oh, hell.
Okay, here we go. We can see, I believe the first one was already used here, right? This was the second one.
And you're going to see here 23 Savage pretty confidently going forward. He's just going to get blown up by Tide Puck and a little bit of a cold feet here. Just feeling confident with Naga taken out of the fight that he can still go in, but if you have any less than half health, the spells from EG are still very much potent enough to kill you off. I'm going to see the longest mono drain I've seen in my entire life. Apparently
right,
did not get
carry
cancelled
on.
there from Crit.
Perfectly normal for Lion players.
Yep.
Of course, has that shard, so the magic immunity comes through with it as well.
Insane shard against Clockwork. It means if you get hookshot jumped, you can just mono drain and stay alive.
Regeneration.
RTZ looks very unhappy to trade his life for Mega Creeps. A true carry player.
Yeah.
It's not good enough if I die. Bad trade, guys. Keep me alive next time. I need 2 Aegis.
Honestly, I can relate to that. It makes a lot of
And-
sense. Yeah, Crit with only 3 finger kills here, or 3 finger charges specifically, but he still takes the 70 HP count.
he
Synderen.
does.
I feel like that's been the standard so far, and he takes the finger death damage per kill, so it's a whopping 60 extra damage. Pretty good, huh?
That's not retroactive, though.
I would assume it is. It doesn't make any sense. His own initiation, RTZ will get doomed again. His BKB was already applied.
He's fast. They're not getting.
Yeah, we got Abed here now with his coil. Carl pops that refresher. This is his last stand for T1, it looks like. Gets the Doom off to Ice. But again, I don't think either of these guys are dying for EG. Let's see, 23 Savage. The Doom is going to be the first one to die in this engagement. Song of the Siren means 23 Savage is the only member of T1 able to do anything for the time being. He's going to get ensnared now. They're just kiting him. The Hex from Crit into the Gush. Going to get Cold Embrace for now. Still pretty freaking healthy.
2
They're
down.
just kiting him. Double kill for Abed as he's going to everybody in the backside here. There's the Ravage from Ice. They're going to focus on 23 Savage. The double Ravage from Fallen. Already used Sucker.
down.
Triple kill for Abed, and GG's are
Hibernate.
called EG.
Chalk it up for the
They
dive.
win a Naga game. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting this. But it looked good. It looked real good.
They found the counter to 23 Savage.
Yeah, I have to admit,
It's 23 Ravage.
23 Ravages?
I wonder how many they used that game. Probably,
not
that's
23.
quite a lot, though.
Not 23.
That's, if you count crit stuns as Ravages, some of them, you get there.
If
It
you
wasn't too-
count on
far
every
off.
spell in the game, yeah, I
That's
think you're
Ravage.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely accurate.
Great game from EG. I think they played us